So I'm live on YouTube now, and we can start the meeting as we have to do the speaking session, and I'll be asking questions just as you know the format. Then we write.
Yes.
So you know the format, and that I'll be conducting questions the same way we did yesterday, and in the same way we're gonna keep the conversation alive, and you are going to answer me whatever I'm asking you, right? So today
Yes.
in this live session we will be focusing more on the conversation part than question answer part.
Okay.
Why is that important? Because when you focus on the conversation part, you gain a lot of important things. That includes, you can say, the confidence and your communication. Basically, we do not communicate while we speak to the examiner, and what we do is we try to tell them answers basically. So it is more
Yes.
test. It is not a test. It's basically they want to see if you can conversate in English or not.
Yes.
Hope you get that point.
Yes.
All right. So I just want to know from your side, what will be all the three parts of IELTS speaking test. You have to tell me again, as this is what we're going to do. We are going to do every day, which will help
Yes.
remember things, right?
Yes. The IELTS speaking test consists of three different parts. The first part comprises of general questionnaires that would be regarding the person giving the exam, and the second part would be a cue card, which would include a topic and follow-up questions. And
Okay.
the third part would be some follow-up questions related to the cue card that you have spoken.
Okay. So, hi, good evening, everyone. Good evening. So let's start the part one questions. I think you feel more problem in part two, so let's do the cue cards only today, right? So that would
Sure.
be better because you are very good at part one and part two. The only thing that you have to remember is, again, I'm saying that you have to remember what is the time that you have to consume for these all sessions, and this time should be from one line to four lines for the part one and one line to five lines maximum in the part three. So what right now our topic would be, that would be with the cue cards itself. That's all. So cue cards, I will be doing two three cue cards today as there is time shortage as well, and we have to do the study visa session as well. So we have a little less time today, and we'll do that with the process charges. कमल तो दे दो कोई नहीं laptop. So the first topic that we are going to discuss in the first cue card is describe a dinner you enjoyed. So I'll put that in the chat box itself so you can get to know about it. Describe a dinner you enjoyed. That's the topic, and what you should say is also I'm going to type it, and I'll also type for the YouTube people. All right. Right. So when it was, what you ate, who you were with, explain why you enjoyed it. So this is what your question is. Describe a dinner you enjoyed. When it was, what you ate, who you were with, explain why you enjoyed it. So this is the question.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, I remember we had this cue card, so I have some points
Yeah,
to
yeah,
give.
sure. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So the dinner that I remember having recently was with my aunt and uncle. Like they are newly married. Like they had their marriage around January. So we had the dinner in February starting. The dinner was conducted at my dinner dining room with some yummy food prepared by my mother that included some rice and dal. And the dinner was part of the ritual, the Indian ritual, that we serve food to the newly wedded couple to offer a greet and meet session with them to introduce the new person entering the family with a warm welcome.
Okay. Right. So what most important mistake that you made was our counters. Again, I told you that you have to look forward with your counters, which disturbs your fluency, and that is really important. If you do not look after your counters, it is really going to hurt you in future. So you have to keep a note on that. And The second thing is your eye contact. Whenever you think, you look sometimes like this or this. Yeah, it is important to do this sometimes, but not more often. As you do this more often, you should improve it. You should look straight into the eyes of the examiner, not overdo it, but yes, you can. Because you have notes, you can look at your notes as well, and you can also do this. So some people, they are saying Sade we speaking that Karlo, kindly join. You have the Zoom ID and password in the comment section, so you can join anytime, so you can also be connected. All right, shall we move to the next question, Tanvi?
Yes, sure.
Right. The next question is, describe a home that you visited and liked but don't want to live in.
Okay.
Type it in the chat box. Now read the question very carefully. We make a huge mistake while reading the questions. So the question basically is, describe a home that you visited and liked but don't want to live in. You should say what place it is it, when do you visit that place, how do you feel about it, why don't you want to live there. So this is the question. So you have 2 minutes. Till then, I will discuss some more ideas. Official chat music. It will connect. Good evening, Gagandeep Kaur. So it will connect. You just have to type the ID first, 823004400, and then they will ask for the password. Then you have to enter team 2021. So anyone can join here in this live session. So it would be good. Right. So Dhanvi is preparing for her cue card that she has to answer. The cue card I will also type in the comments if you want to see. So it can help everyone. I will surely do that. I think I should do that. Right. So I'll just type it down in the comments. So describe a home that you visited and liked but don't want to live in. What place is it? Now you have to keep in mind that describe a home that you visited. It is not about a home that you live in. It is a home that you visited and you liked the home, but you don't want to live in. Now you liked it, but you don't want to live in. What is the reason? So you have to specify that reason. It can be any external reason as well, right? Why you don't want to live in that house.
Shall I start?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes. A home that I visited recently and do not want to live in is a home located in the nearby village of my hometown. It's a home of my parents' patients, as my parents are homeopath doctors. So we often go there for their checkups, and as they are family friends, so we often visit their home. The major disliking about their home by my side is the locality and the mentality of the people living over there. The construction of the home is not that good, but the build is nice. The warmth over there is quite friendly, but as we move around to the locality, it seems like toxicating. So, if it would be situated at another place, I would just love to go there, but because of the locality, I do not feel safe over there.
Right. So you don't have to go there. You are already there. You have visited that place, but it is about living. You have to
Yes.
talk about living more.
Okay. Okay.
Right. So you just said that you don't want to go there. So you already visited that place. So you have to focus more on not visited. You have to focus on living.
Living.
So you visited that place, but you don't want to live in that place. So that is important. Right. So always read questions more carefully because they are the most important things. Okay, then let's move to the next cue card. Um, Describe an occasion when you were standing in line. Have you
Sorry, I
done this
didn't
before?
get the question. No.
Describe an occasion when you were standing in line. So anyone, if you have any questions, you can type down. Sukhdeep, today after this session, just 2 minute के बाद हम again another session करेंगे. That would be about study visa. When was that occasion? What was it about? How long was the QR line? How did you feel about the waiting in this long QR line? All right, shall we start?
Yes, sure.
Yes.
Uh, the latest occasion that I remember while waiting in a line was 1 month prior. I remember filling my passport appointment and waiting over there for my turn. The line wasn't much long, but it seemed fine. Like the waiting time wasn't much, but as it was worth for time, so I didn't mind standing and waiting so much. The people over there were also much kind to offer space and wait gently, supporting each other. So I didn't mind much waiting over there. But uh, as the season is of the summers, it was humid and it felt much sticky. So that was the major concern that bothered me over
Okay. So you have to speak a little more. You just spoke for 54 seconds. All right. So you can repeat this cue code. Yeah, I want you to speak more on this topic.
there. Okay, just give me a minute.
You can add some lines that it becomes really hectic when you stand on the line, and it becomes problematic. Sometimes we are not in good mood, and I spent my whole time using my mobile phone while I was standing in line like this. You can use these lines. Sukhdeep Garad, sir, I got 7 bands in speaking with your help. Congratulations, Sukhdeep Garad. Just send me your result over WhatsApp. Right. So you can restart this question again.
Okay. The latest occasion I remember standing in a line was 1 month prior, where I had to fill my passport appointment and wait over there for my turn to arrive. Waiting in a line was a thing that feared me up much after the assembly lining of the school, and it was the first encounter of me standing in the line that time. The people over there were waiting for their turn gently, as it was the birth for time over there. Waiting for your passport appointment is something that we all want to do, and it is worth for time, but waiting in that humid atmosphere wasn't much pleasant. The people over there was much supportive and offered enough space for everyone to stand up and feel comfortable. But as we know, standing in a line and waiting for your turn is something hectic. So I usually spent my time on my phone and connecting with my family over there, as they were waiting for me outside while I was standing in the line.
All right. Good. So shall we move to the follow-ups as well, or you just want to focus on cue cards today?
We can move to follow-ups also.
The first follow-up would be uh, uh, it was, what do people like to do while waiting in line?
I think the people of my age would prefer spending their time on their mobile phones and scrolling down applications like Instagram and YouTube.
Okay. So, do you think in the future people will like to stand in queue or line?
No, as the digital era is growing with much speed, so The waiting time would be occupied with the online time configurations, and none of them would be much patient to stand in line.
Okay. What kind of facility should you give to people to remove line starting time?
The line starting time could be removed by proper appointment settings and time configurations with time slots.
Okay. So how should the customers be attended to by the attending officers?
The customer service is something that plays a major role by a attending officer. They should offer much support and patience while attending the customers.
Okay. What to provide to the customers to make them comfortable while standing in line?
While standing in lines, the major concern is the atmosphere over there. If it's cold, I think they should be offered something warm to drink, and if it's summers, then water plays a major role.
All right. So always focus on, then we again the R counters, that is important, and the R's are a big problem for you. To improve your speaking, you have to focus on R's and eye contact both. Yeah, I've seen you have tried from looking here to look here. I seen that, and but that is good. Yeah, that is what improvement is known as, right? So let's move to the next cue card. That is, describe something you have made yourself from wood, metal, paper, or any other metal you can speak about. So I'll just type this down as well. And you should say what you made, why did you make, and how you have made it, and explain how you feel about it. I'll also put in the YouTube comment section so everyone can get to know. Thank you, Sukhdeep Brad. You have very good results. Congratulations. Right. All right. So the question is, describe something you have made yourself from wood, paper, metal, or other material. What you made, why did you make it, and you have made it, and explain how you felt about it. This is the last cue card, and then we'll follow to the study visa thing, right?
Shall I start?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes. The latest thing that I remember crafting with my hands was a flower pot designed with mud and paints. It was the occasion of Mother's Day when we all were excited, and I wanted to give my mother something. And buying something materialistic was not in my budget. So I planned to craft something with my own hands and love for her. So I got some pot clay and paints, and I crafted a flower pot for her with acrylic paints and some shiny sprays. Uh, as it was the occasion of the bond of a mother and daughter. So while gifting her this flower pot, I offered her with flowers too. And with that, it felt like a proud moment for me as well as for my mother. She was really overwhelmed with the gift, and she felt like her daughter had achieved something and she has grown up. So it was an very overwhelming moment for me and a proud moment for her also.
Okay. So one more thing I would like to add to everyone who's watching this live, and Dhanvi, especially you, that is, whenever you start a cue card, you have to be very specific about your beginning and how you have to begin a cue card. So there are three things that you can begin your cue card with. I told you before. That is what? Number one is, you can answer me.
You didn't mention these.
Okay. The number one is story. The number two is quotation, and number three is What? I just told you in the first live.
No, no, no.
Question. So there are three things: question, quotation, and story. So you have to take these three things in concern whenever you are starting your cue card. Always the first thing that you have to make notes on is that what I can begin with. And what you have to begin is which should start somewhere from story or somewhere from question or anything like that, right? So always start with that. Now how would you start from story, or how would you start from, you can say, for example, how can you start from the quotation? So it's very easy to do that. You can start from the quotation, like for example, if the question is about how describe something you made from yourself, you can say, well, making something out from your own self really inspires you to do the same in the future. This is a quotation. Now, with this quotation, you grabbed the attention of the audience, or you grabbed the attention of the examiner suddenly. Okay, you are giving a statement. Okay, you're giving an inspirational quote, which grabs the attention. Once you grab the attention, no matter what you speak and how you speak, the examiner tries to understand you and tries to listen to you. And the same way you can start with the question, and same way with the story, right?
Yes.
So this is what we have to start. So there are three things you can start your things, and that is
Story.
from story, questions, and quotations. So questions is very rarely used, because now if I ask you what are your things, right, or if I ask you any question, you can't question me back. Gagan
Yes.
Sandhu, no, Gagan Sandhu, I can take that on YouTube itself. So question, you can't question back the examiner. Sometimes if you see on the other channel of mine, that is the speaker sing, and if you see the video education system, so examiner sorry, the examiner, not the interviewer, asked me what is the speaker sing made up of. Then I questioned back the interviewer that what you think I'm made up of. You can't say the examiner will ask you uh, how do you work. You can't say the examiner what do you think how do I work. And you can't say
Yes.
like this to the examiner. So he'll just throw you out of the room. So what you can do here is you can just not use questions. It is just when you are making an argument, or like I was making an argument with the examiner. Right? So there is a difference.
Sure. Can we get debate questions also in the cue card?
Yeah, you can take debate questions, but you don't have to overdo the debate. You can put your point, and rest the decision maker is the examiner, because he or she is the examiner. He or she is choosing topic, and he or she is actually making your questions, or he or she is giving you marks basically. So you should be
Yes.
very specific about that. Right? So जो भी join करना चाहते हैं, kindly open Zoom and put join meeting. Click on the join meeting. आपको एक joining ID मांगेगा, वो that is given above 823000000, and when you join it, they will ask for a password. उस password पे फिर कर दीजिए team 2021 and you will be joined. Right? So shall we move to the follow-ups of this question?
Sure.
Yeah. So the follow-up for this question is, uh, uh, you can say, Mm, have you received anything that was handmade by the person who gave it to you?
Yes. On my 18th birthday, I remember receiving a handmade card from my best friend where she placed a few photographs of us being together from past 2 years.
Okay. So when receiving a gift, do you prefer something self-made or something bought in stores?
I prefer something self-made as it is made with gratitude and love, which reflects the intentions of the presenter of the gift.
Okay. Should parents help their children in making things or not, and why? Now, when there is a question like why, then you can speak a little long, because the examiner is asking you for an explanation.
Okay. Yes, I think as the child have their creative minds, but need proper guidance how to execute their creativeness, parents can play a major role over there. Guiding their children with their executions is something that can make a huge impact on the child's creativity.
Right. So that is the end. And That is the end of this session. All you need to improve is, now I just noticed something in you, that what you do is whenever I tell you that you have to speak 1 to 3 or 1 to 4 lines, then you put too much weight on those words. It does not mean that you just have to speak 1 to 2 lines or just 1 to 4 lines. You can speak some more lines, just like in a q this follow-up questions I asked right today. So you just try to focus on speaking less, right? You just tried that, and that is what I know. So you don't have to try it. It is just that you have to keep it short. It is not important that 4 lines or 3 lines is only thing. You can go for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 even if it is needed, if it is really really important, and if you have the right content. Very really valuable content would help you to do things,
Okay.
right? So we'll end this session on YouTube and we'll restart the session, and that would be for study visa. I think there is someone with us now from Galaxy J8. Can you please turn off your uh, mute mic and join us with an audio, whosoever it is? Kindly you can put your notice in front so we can have a conversation, or we can just rejoin with another session. Hello.
Hello,
Yes, who's this?
sir. I am Prabjit
Hi,
from Firozpur.
hi, Prabjit Kaur from
Hello, sir.
Firozpur. Kindly just switch on your camera so we all can see and communicate with you.
Okay, sir.
All right. So, Prabjit, how can I help you here?
Sir, I give my exam in 19 July. Sir,
Uh,
I got in speaking 6.5, but listening, sir, I have not satisfied bands. I got only 5 bands in listening. So I want to improve my speaking as well as the listening.
of course. So, Prabjit, as you know, the time's up for this day, for this session. So, you know how to join the session. And
Yes,
tomorrow, for nearly, then we and I think then we are going to have a session or not tomorrow?
Yeah,
yes,
sure.
Yeah. So we all three we can have a session tomorrow. That would be really good. So you just have to wait till then, and the speaking session will conduct tomorrow again. Right now we are going to conduct a session for study visa. If you want to stay, you can stay. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow.
okay, sir. I will stay.
Yeah, sure. So let me restart this live. Everyone, thank you who are connected with us on YouTube for uh, this speaking